Alright guys, it's your boy here, back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and we have the Datamines for the Fallen Heroes banner. Now of course with this batch we got also the refines for the units, so we're going to start things off by looking at the refines, and then later on into the night when we start getting more of the Datamines we'll cover the rest of the stuff. But of course, shoutouts to the homie pt.1 for always holding it down with these lovely infographics. So we're going to start off with Duma's refine, because I think he is one of the more long-awaited ones. Alright, so Duma, he has Fell Breath, 16 Might, 1 Range, and HP up 3. Grant's attack up 3. At the start of combat, if foe's HP is not full, or if unit's attack is better than the foe's attack, Grant's attack and res up 6 during combat, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack. If foe's range is 2, then he gets adaptive damage. Okay, pretty much that seems to be just about the same. I believe they added also an attack condition there, so if he has more attack than the foe, he's also going to get the attack and res up 6. Whereas before, I think it was only the HP condition. But he has upheaval anyway, so odds are pretty good he's going to be able to chip everyone's HP down below full. Okay, also, if unit initiates combat or if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack up 5 to unit, inflicts attack -5 on the foe, and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. And also, if unit's attack is better than foe's res, unit's first attack deals damage equal to 30% of unit's attack minus foe's res. Okay, so he gets a true damage effect, he gets a light spendthrift effect. Seems pretty solid to me. Coupled with the attack and res up 6 that he already gets, the attack up 5 and attack -5 on the foe, 30% damage reduction and 30% bonus damage. So he basically has bigger and badder Dragon's Wrath. He's got Spendthrift. He's got a lot, man. This is actually pretty substantial for him. And before this, I was hoping that he was going to get near save, but looking at what he got, I don't really think it matters all that much. Upheaval does actually break multiple structures, which we'll take a look at later on when we get more of the Datamines, but yeah, as long as he lines up in a column where he is in a position where he can hit multiple structures, like if he's not targeting a structure he can break, like if he's targeting an empty space or an unbreakable structure like the fort or the escape ladder, he's just going to target the nearest structures, and if there are 2 structures nearby in the same distance, he's going to pop both of them. So, pretty good. Overall, I would say he doesn't look too shabby. Alright, let's move on to Idunn up next. This is the one that I'm the most excited for. So, Demonic Breath, 16 Might, 1 Range, HP up 3, and effective against armor. Grants defense up 3. If foe initiates combat or if unit's HP is not full at the start of combat, neutralizes penalties on unit, and grants all stats up 4 to unit during combat. If foe's range is 2, gets adaptive damage. Alright, more or less that seems just about the same. I think if foe initiates combat is an added effect. Before she had to be below full HP. I could be wrong about that though. It's been a while since I've actually looked at what the base Idunn does. Alright, also if foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants attack up 5 to unit, inflicts attack -5 on the foe, and also if foe can make a follow-up attack, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 70% during combat. Oh boy. Wow, that's pretty raw. So you know what that means. You run actually far save on her as opposed to near save. So you can do far save and then give her deflect magic or deflect missile. And she's going to get 70% DR on the first hit and then 80% DR on the next hit and onwards. So if the foes are using ranged weapons, they basically can't even touch her. That's so nasty, man. Wow. Yeah, she doesn't need to run the Hardy Fighter and Aegis combo to get rid of, like, or not get rid of, but just completely wall out the ranged threats. Very, very good refine for her. That's going to see a lot of play in summoner duels. I can tell y'all that right now. So hopefully you got a spare copy of Far Save to give her. She could also pull off near save too, of course, with 70% DR, and just all you got to do is tank the first hit and then hit the foe and try to kill him in one shot. It's not really that likely she'll be able to, though, because she doesn't have -1 special trigger. But, wow, it's going to be really hard for these other refines to top that. All right, we have Gharnef up next. 14 might and 2 range. Grants res up 3. At the start of turn 3, deals 7 damage to non-magic foes within 5 columns centered on unit, and inflicts status on those foes, preventing counterattacks through the next actions. If unit initiates combat or unit is not adjacent to an ally, grants attack and speed up 5 to unit during combat. Okay, so I was hoping they would have made the turn condition a little bit better. It's only on turn 3, and 5 columns centered on him is a pretty good area of effect. But the start of turn 3, that's going to take a little bit of setup to get to. So for the first and second turns, basically, he's not doing anything. Alright, also at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants another attack and speed up 5 to unit during combat. And also, if foe is non-magic, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from AoE specials by 30%, and foe cannot counterattack. Okay, that's different. So he gets a wind sweep and water sweep effect. Or I should probably just say fire sweep. He gets 30% DR against non-magic enemies. He's getting attack and speed up 10. Okay. Actually, not too bad for him. So PM1 has also been good guy PM1 and posted the stats there. I'm assuming the reds mean it's a bane, and then blues would mean it's a boon. So Gharnef has no boons, sadly, but he's going to be getting attack and speed up 10 here. So we got 40 base attack and then 44 speed. That's not too impressive by today's standards, but certainly a lot better than where he was before this. And he still has that turn 3 big damage with the 7 chip and the flash effect that he can inflict on the foes. So pretty interesting. I'm not too sure like how consistent this guy is going to be, but he certainly seems like he could catch some people off guard if you play him right. So not to be slept on, but also I would say needs some testing to really see if he's going to hold his own. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Caden up next. All right, so Caden is a support unit. Let's see if they gave him more support stuff. So 14 might, 1 range, HP up 3, grants defense up 3. If unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack and speed up 5 to unit during combat. Grants allies in 2 spaces bonus to all stats during combat equal to the current bonus on each of unit's stats, and calculates each bonus independently. Also, at the start of turn, if unit is adjacent to only beast or dragon allies, or if unit is not adjacent to any ally, unit transforms. If he transforms, he gets attack up 2. He inflicts attack and defense -4 on the foes when he initiates, and he blocks them from doing a follow-up. So, once again, the same exact transformation effect for cavalry types that we've seen before. Would have been nice if they updated that, but then again, I guess really the only one that got updated was the infantry one. They gained tempo, which is pretty nice, but would have liked to see some updates to all the other beast types. Alright, also, if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants attack and speed up 5 to unit during combat. And also, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants defensive res up 2 to unit during combat, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on the foe per attack. Oh, so this guy was a support unit. He still is, but what they did was they gave him some combat potential of his own, as opposed to making him an even nastier support unit. I think that's what they probably should have did, was just put all of his eggs into one basket and just make him this crazy, super good support option, as opposed to like giving him attack and speed up 10, inflicting guard, and yada yada yada. But I don't know, maybe you guys prefer it this way, and you'd rather him be able to mix it up and possibly player phase if necessary, but I don't know. I think they could have did some more support for him, and it would have worked out just fine. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Picnic Felicia up next. So she's got 16 might, 1 range, effective against beasts, and HP up 3. Her weapon grants speed up 3. And at the start of combat, if unit's res is better than the foe's res, inflicts penalty on the foe's attack, speed, and defense during combat equal to 80% of the difference between res stats before combat. So maximum penalty of -8. Honestly, they could have just gotten rid of that res check and just did -8 to the enemy's attack, speed, and defense. I feel like that would have been fine because her base res is 35. That's certainly pretty good compared to most other units. That's definitely above average, but against a lot of the newer units that have boosted BSTs and increased stats, it's going to be pretty tough to have the amount of res more than the foes that you would need to get the maximum here. So what do you actually need? I think 10 more points of res than the enemy to get the full -8. So she's going to need, what, like enemies that have 25 res to be getting the maximum bonus. That's not very common. Most of the units are going to have 30 res and upwards. So I would have liked it if they took away the res check, but I guess it is what it is. Alright, also, if the foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants all stats up 4 to unit and neutralizes effects that guarantee foe's follow-up attacks during combat. And also, if unit's res is better than the foe's res, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. Okay, so all stats up 4. We got null follow, well, half of null follow-up. Is it half? Hold on. Neutralize effects that guarantee foes follow-ups. Oh, it's... She's not negating effects that block her own follow-up, is she? It doesn't look like it. So she basically stops them from using things like Bold Fighter and anything that grants a guaranteed follow-up other than null follow-up. Interesting. Okay, so they gave her more like tanky options, I guess. I guess that makes sense, though, if it says here if foe initiates combat, so it's fine. They want her to play a baiting role, although running her as a bait option, there is no way you're going to run her over the Valentine Lucina or some of the other crazy axe armored units we've got. So, a little unfortunate with her, but I guess that's just how it crumbles. Alright, so finally, we have Thea. This is going to be our demote options, so... Icy Maltet, a lot of people are excited because she has Maltet. So hopefully they gave her the Brave Hector treatment. Alright, we got 16 might, 1 range, and HP up 3. At the start of the turn, if unit has been enhanced using Dragon Flowers 10 or more times, grants attack and defense up 6 for 1 turn. If foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants a bonus to all stats during combat, based on the number of times unit has been enhanced using Dragon Flowers. 1 or more times is +5, with a max, or +5 is the max. 0 times grants +4. And also, if unit has been enhanced using Dragon Flowers 5 or more times, inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on the foe per attack. Alright, also, if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats up 4 to unit during combat, and grants a bonus to all stats during combat equal to the current bonus on each of unit's stats. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Calculates each bonus independently, so she gained bonus doubler. She has all stats up 4. She can get another all stats up 4 or all stats up 5 if she has 5 Dragon Flowers. She's getting attack and defense up 6 at the start of the turn, so that's going to combo with her bonus doubler effect, because this should be a blue buff, since it says at the start of the turn. Very interesting. They actually did pretty good justice for her, I'd say. And the main reason why is because we just got the Smoke level 4 skills, and Speed Smoke, for example, would be able to give her dodge on top of lowering the foe's speed by 6 or by 7 and then granting her speed up 6. So attack, defense, and speed up 6, comboing with bonus doubler, giving her dodge, and then she's got guard, she's got all of these stats. She's going to be a really crazy stat ball. Not bad, not bad at all, especially for a 4-star demote. I'm honestly kind of impressed here that they did all of this for Thea. So pretty good. Let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think of all of these refines. Who do you think actually won the refine lottery this time around? Honestly, I gotta give it up to Idunn. The 70% DR on the foe's first attack, then comboed with Deflect Magic or Deflect Missile, like I said, and then you give her Far Save, and you don't have to give her Distant Counter because you want her to be able to use the seals there. Pretty crazy stuff. She is going to be meta, absolutely. Second place, who gets second place here? I think that's the more interesting question, right? So, Duma's pretty good. I think Upheaval's upgrade was more substantial for him than his actual refine, even though it's going to make him a lot more combat competent. I want to say Thea, honestly. Like, I feel like Thea probably got the second best one here. Certainly, it's the biggest upgrade out of the batch, because she went from having no perf weapon at all into having all of this. So, that's very good for her. Yeah, I think Thea's probably in second place, honestly. And plus, she's a demo, too, so that just gives her even more bonus points when it's easy to merge her up to plus 10. So, that's all for this part of the video. We are going to come back for part 2, and we're going to discuss the rest of the Datamines. So, this is your boy Tacho signing out. Let me know what you think of these refines in the comments, and I will catch y'all again in just a sec.